didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I really didn't know that
no
until I read this. You know.
I mean, yeah, because you know how you mentioned like Ghana was the Gold Coast, Ivory Coast.
Yeah.
I had no idea either.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I want to say that maybe because we are in the diaspora, we do think of these things this way. Because I mean, I have friends who've moved back and they suddenly just forget everything that they've learned here. I don't know. Your book made me happy and sad.
Yeah. Nigeria always does that.
It made me very happy and sad.
Modern slavery is a luxury.
Yeah.
It's a luxury that we can't afford.
Precisely.
Preserving culture is a luxury we can't afford right now.
Yeah.
Precisely.
But it's a luxury we can afford.
We can't afford that luxury right now.
You don't think so?
The other day I was watching CNN where this guy got fed up with his job. He quit Wall Street and he's gonna take a bike and he's gonna bike around the world. This white guy, and I'm like, wow, you must really be satisfied with your life to do that with your job and just take a bike and bike around the world. We are talking about a country of 170 million people. Unemployment rate is like over 25%. Let's not talk about education. We are not even close right now.
Yeah.
And you want to tell them that they should go mourn some colonial place?
No, but it's a way of making money though. You say people are unemployed.
Yeah.
We could employ people.
Yes.
The economy, you have to take. I understand. To me, tourism, yes, it's kind of it is a luxury, and to me, tourism improves once everything else has been improved.
Tourism is not for Nigerian. Tourism is from the outside.
No.
Tourism
It
is
can be
for
within
every
It
country.
can be within
Tourism.
Why I said it's not for Nigeria is this. They're saying about unemployment, right? You're gonna say, okay, yeah, let's try to start tourism. Let's employ some people to go to this place and take care of or whatever. Now, who is gonna go visit?
You don't start with tourism. That's what I'm saying. You have to improve the overall infrastructure
Thank you.
of the country.
Thank you. That's
You know, and that's what the government has to do. Once that's in place, you know, once education standards have improved, once infrastructure's improved, once the banking system and everything has been improved, then tourism just naturally.
But even before we get to that, right? I mean, I love the fact of you infusing that your father, right? You know, when you were young, would drive you guys.
Yeah.
You know, poor Sonny would just, everyone would get in the car and would just drive you guys across the country because he wanted you to see your country, right? Now, I'm sure there are a lot of other families who do a similar thing, and I'm sure that there will, if all these different areas were preserved and really built up, right? I'm sure there are families who will save up, just like here in the U.S., right?
Yeah,
you have families who aren't making anything, right? But you know what they'll do? They'll save up their money, and they'll get in a car and they'll drive across the country to different places to see the land, right? So I mean, I don't agree that tourism is not for Nigerians.
To your point, there are families that will do that if these infrastructures do exist. But here's the thing: Nigeria hasn't been getting better, right? It got worse.
But that's how it gets better. But that's how it gets better, right? Because
and you're right. That's how
it's
it
an
gets
economy,
better.
the tourist economy, right? You start to develop it.
Cross River State is doing it now.
Yeah.
I mean, despite the like you mentioned, like things might not be all that well and good, but Cross River State has succeeded. I think maybe in actually being on the forefront of having Nigerian tourism. Because I remember even before I read this book, I had been going on online Nigeria, looking at pictures of Calabar, and I'm like, I want to go to Calabar. Like I want to live there. And I go to Nigeria now in December. I'm gonna go to Calabar. It's a place I've never been to. I'm from Imo State. I didn't even think about going to Calabar.
Yeah, they've got like an amazing sort of Christmas fair, you know, and it's, sometimes they have a sort of regatta boat race and stuff, because the governor at the time just decided to make that a priority. They've got this real civic pride. They clean the streets. They put billboard adverts, explaining to people the benefits of, paying taxes and everything. You can make a difference. It's not going to be a massive difference, but there are things you can do, even with with government poverty and corruption, to improve your tourism just that little bit,
And things like that would inspire other places, right? So you might have, a governor from, I don't know, Kwara State or whatever, see that and say, you know what, I want to do that in my own state,
Yeah.
I want people to come to my own state, and that's how it just mushrooms, because then people start becoming competitive.
Yeah.
It's not a luxury
Exactly.
we can't afford. It's a luxury we can afford, but we have these machinations that will not allow us to
No,
like
it's-
actually.
But I don't
have-
actually see it as luxury.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't
it's
see
not-
tourism
It's-
as
I
luxury.
mean, he explained it as a luxury. I'm just kind
Yeah.
of going off that, but
Yeah.
I'm saying like it's something we can afford. We can do it. I don't think we stand in our own way. Like I was frustrated. I can't even talk. I was frustrated, and I was like, when I think about all the things we can do, and what we have, and how much money we have, and the people, like it's just up to us to actually build things, maintain it, and that's another thing. We build. The maintenance culture is only zero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like maintain it and make it sustainable, and it will happen.
Emma, you were saying
No, I was going to like jump into the argument. No, it's not. I mean, I was going to say that it's really not tied to the socioeconomic potential of in that sense. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't really mean that you have to be a wealthy country to
Yeah.
preserve your culture.
Yeah.
And I mean, I try to even move it beyond preservation of a culture, because there's certainly art that is being produced now. And so I would like to have a national museum that functions better.
Yeah.
Simply, that can then buy the work or collect the work of contemporary artists working today.
Yeah.
Because when we try to fix our mind on the culture of the past, there's a problem with the culture of the present. You know, like,
Yeah.
because we are developing, there are all kinds of things happening on YouTube now, right?
Yeah.
And it's certainly our culture. The idea that someone can, you know, put his whole life on Facebook is our culture,
Yeah.
right? And I think that if we don't have an idea that culture is always in constant motion, in fact, the culture that we that is kind of pristine in 1914 is the culture that has been adulterated by like 100 or 200 years of trading with the Portuguese, or you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And so by that time we are like messed up already, right? So if you think that's the culture, then you have to account for the culture that was produced before then.
Right.
Yeah.
So the sense in which I understand, you know, if we're having a conversation about culture, is a culture that is constantly in motion, a culture that can then be talking about the culture of the present, and what are we creating now, how are we expressing ourselves now, which is why Calabar is such a fantastic model, because you
Yeah.
have this fusion of what's old Calabar and new Calabar.
Yeah.
Yeah.